Okay, this quite long lesson is about the least squares regression line, but you're going to do it many, many times for this particular topic. Previously in science subjects, have your teachers asked you to draw a line of best fit before? Do you know what that might be about? Like if you've got some data on a scatter plot, they might have said, draw a line through it where there's an even number of dots above it and an even number of dots below it. So you can see in this example here, there's 3 dots above and 3 dots below. And do you agree that that blue line kind of follows the trend?
Yeah.
That's not very mathematical though, because if I troll the rule and go, well, 3 above and 3 below, this line follows the rule. Does that blue line follow the trend though? No, it doesn't go anywhere near it, okay? We need a more mathematical way. So in our subject, you would agree that we've been hammering this, you may remember, how do we put data in? Stat. We put the data into edit. And then what was it that we used to find the statistics? We went calc, lin reg. But now you're going to learn what that means. Because I've just given you a lesson that's called linear regression. What do you reckon lin reg means? It means linear regression, okay? So what is linear regression doing? In our subject, we've been putting data into stat edit. And lin reg, what does that do? It runs a linear regression through the data. What does that mean? It generates a straight line through the data that minimizes the vertical distance between the line and all the data points at the same time. So if you looked at this, that blue line is trying to maximize the distance between the line and these dots. Whereas here, what does that blue line look like it's trying to do? It's trying to get as close to all of these red dots as possible all at the same time. So that is what lin reg is doing. It's finding you the line of best fit mathematically. So lin reg mathematically finds the line of best fit and tells its equation. The formal name for the line of best fit is the least squares regression line. Okay? So I printed this out to save you writing it out, but how do we draw the least squares regression line? This is not any different to what you've done before. We enter the X and Y data into stat edit. What was the handy habit that I suggested you do in stat edit when you put the data in? What was that? You put X into L1 and Y into L2. Why? Because when you go stat calc lin reg, it wants the X data in list 1 anyway. So if you always do that, it'll be faster. All right? Press stat, select calc, all of these are the same steps that you've had before. But now we're actually going to interpret what that lin reg means. Before, what we did, I need to put some data in though. Stat edit. If I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into my X data and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is that going to be a perfect relationship between those? So if I did stat calc lin reg, you may remember before that, we don't have the R and R squared. That's actually a good thing for me to show you. Do you remember how in the steps I said you need to turn catalog on? The diagnostics on? This is what happens when you don't turn the diagnostics on. It doesn't show your R and R squared. Right? That's what we've been doing so far, is doing this. We've been going, I'll turn the diagnostics on. All we have done so far, for the people that have been away, is we've interpreted what R squared and R is. So that's telling me that the relationship between those data that we put in is perfect, okay? But today, we're going to try to work out, well, what the hell does A mean? What the hell does B mean? Sorry, you're going to have to call back to topic 2. Do you remember drawing a bunch of lines in topic 2? Mm-hmm. Do you remember the slope-intercept form? Y is equal to mx plus c. The calculator, instead of saying mx plus c, it says ax plus b. So the A on the calculator that you can see on the screen right now, that's the slope of the equation. That's how far the line goes up whenever you go to the right once. So what is this saying? This saying in that relationship, the line goes up 1 when you go to the right one. What does it say B is? B is the value of the y-intercept of the equation. This is telling me that that line is going through 0. So that this y is equal to ax plus b is telling me this. It's got a dot at x is equal to 0, and it's going across 1, up 1. Which, I'm pretty sure if we look at the data, if I graph that, that would look exactly like it, okay? So, knowing the equation of the line, the reason why I needed to give such detailed instructions is I'm expecting you, if you're asked to draw the line of best fit, you use the equation. And you use the equation like this. Substitute a value of x from the lower end of the x-axis and solve for y. Plot this x, y as a point in your graph. See how there's nothing definite here? It just says substitute a value of x. Just do it on the left somewhere. And then this other one, substitute another value of x from the higher end of the x-axis into the equation. Solve for y. Plot this x and y as a point in your graph. At this point, if you do these two things, you're going to have 2 dots on your scatter plot. If I've got 2 dots, I can draw a line through it. Now, you may be having trouble imagining that. So can we do a question on it now? Can you go to this page here? The 6 cars were left in the sun. Time, duration, and temperature inside them at the end was recorded. Does it make sense that the longer that I leave a car in the sun, the hotter it's going to get? Yep. Good. Can I please ask you to draw on the scatter plot? You've got some axes there. Plot those points. And also, can you put that data into your calculator? So, wish I could say your name. DJ, do you have a calculator?
Yes, I do.
Not here right now. I'll let you. Can you follow along because you've been away? I'll show you how to enter data because this is a repetitive thing that we're going to do often. So anyone that doesn't remember, how do I enter data? You go on the calculator. Let me clear this first. So DJ, you press. Can you see the stat button next to the arrow buttons there? There's a button that says stat.
Yes.
Yep, press that. Can you select one edit, please? Is that table empty for you? Is there numbers there already?
There's numbers there.
There's numbers? Okay, if you've got numbers there, can you scroll up to L1, like the title of the table, and press clear? There's a clear button there. And then at the bottom, it should be saying L1, and then it's waiting for you. Just press enter, and it'll clear the whole list. Can you do the same for L2? Done that? So L1 and L2 are clear. So, in this situation, which one would be the independent variable? Which of these variables is going to cause the other variable to change? Yes?
The time.
The time. So in L1, can you put the times? So 50, 5, 25, 40. So you'd go 50 and press enter. 5, 25, enter. 40, 15, not 211, what the hell? 15 and 45. And then in L2, can you put the Y values in, which is the temperatures? 47, 28, 36, 42, 34, 41. So I've put my data in. I'm going to move that over because I need to draw the scatter plot. So what have we got? 50, 47. Time 50, temperature 47. Time 50, temperature 47. It's going to be around there. That's my first dot. Time 5:28. 5:28 is going to be around there. 25:36. 25. 35, 36, slightly above 35. 40 and 42. 40. 42, 15 and 34, 15, 34, and 45, 41, 45, 41. Okay, I've plotted the data. So the purpose of doing this was draw the least squares regression line. Okay, so B, I've done this, draw the scatter plot. Express the equation of the least squares regression line in terms of time, duration, and temperature. So I grab my calculator here. Do I have my temperature and time data in the calculator? How do I calculate the lin reg? You remind me. What do I press? Stat again? Go over to the right and I run a linear regression. We only do 2 different kinds of regression in our subject. In methods, they do all sorts of things. They do freaking sine waves. No. We try lin reg, 1, and then the only other one we try is exponential. But this one, lin reg, enter. Is my x data in list 1? Yes, because I formed that habit. Is my y data in list 2? Yes, because I formed that habit. Enter. That's telling me the equation of the line. So that's telling me temperature. Temperature equals, what does it say the slope is? 0.37 times by the duration. So 37 times by d. And what does it say b is? Plus 27.03. And I rounded those to 2 dp. That's how you get the equation of the line of best fit using the calculator, so that you don't just do it by eye. We're going to do it with maths. Okay? And this maths was a while ago, but we did it in topic 2. So draw the least squares regression line in your scatter plot. So if you remember to these steps here, there's nothing definite about this. Substitute a value of x from the lower end. What does my x data go from? It goes from 0 up to 55. What's a nice number on the lower end of this that I could chuck into the equation? 5? He said 5. He mouthed 5 to me, so let's put 5 into this. T, when it's 5, is equal to 0.37 times by 5 plus 27.03. Chuck that into your calculator, work that out. 0.37 times by 5 and then add 27.03 to it. That's telling me 28.88. So what was the point of that? That's telling me when time is 5, what should my temperature be?
About 28.8.
About 28.88. So there's a dot there. Is 1 dot enough info to draw a line?
No.
No, I don't know what direction it goes. Can you see why I said one of the other steps was choose another number on the right side somewhere? Why do I want it on the right side? I don't want you to choose 10 and we draw a line based on 2 dots that are right next to each other. That's not the best idea. What's a nice round number that's way on the other side of my x-axis? Let's do 50. So T, 50. We're going to go 0.37 lots of 50 plus 27.03. That's going to equal, I always forget where I put the calculator. 0.37 times 50, add 27.03. That's telling me 45.53. So why does that help me? That tells me when time is 50, my y should be around 45 and a little bit. Do I have 2 red dots on the graph now? Could I draw a line through those 2? Yep. So now my line of best fit, instead of doing it by eye and sort of just judging it, it's not judged. The calculator judged it for me. And the maths decided where the dots go. Okay? So I'm going to stop that lesson there, even though the note's gone forever, because that's already quite a bit. And I'll give you time to copy that down.